So I want to show what Patrick was doing, and let me bring up my little scratch or whatever. And so Patrick and I were just playing around with printing format printf, which if you look here, it takes a format string and an interface. And again, if you're just looking at this from the docs, you're kind of like, you're new to it, you're like, well, what the heck does that stuff mean? Format string, interface. And I'm not sure how would you learn that from the doc. So if we were to go doc.org, the first place to start is just in the format package. And then we can look at printf. And printf formats according to format specifier and writes to standard output. It returns the number of bytes written and any write error encountered. Okay, there's no example there. I might control F and look for example on the page, and just sort of see. Sometimes there are some examples that will run, and I'm not seeing any. I might also try just printf and see if there's something that's not specified as an example, like some code, and I could scan through. So here's a printf, right? And it looks like %d, unknown verb. So, some of the stuff, like I was fortunate to bang my head against Java for a while last year. I read this great book by Tony Gaddis, but in there, Java uses formatting verbs. And he talks about this, and the length and the width stuff, it's all the same in Java. And so I think that's probably pretty common across languages. And when you have a good textbook, that'll explain it to you, which is different than looking at it from the docs. And so maybe if you'd taken C or C++ or C#, that a good textbook in that language would have made a lot of this stuff, more familiar. So anyhow, there's an example of it. The last thing I'll show for examples is down here at the bottom of these things at GoDoc. It says package format imports 8 packages and is imported by 76,464 packages. So I don't know how, but they're looking to see who's using it. So you could click on that. And it's opening that up. I'm running out of power. I'm down to 16%. And so here are a bunch of different packages that use that. And so, I don't know, I could click on that and maybe start digging through here and see if they have any examples of code. And I could go look at that on GitHub. But that's another way you could look at examples of code. But that's anybody's code, so it could be good, it could be bad. And sometimes I see articles on Go blog where they talk about, people are using things incorrectly when they scan and look at it. And so like the blog index here was I was reading this one about package names, and that was really great. But in here they're talking about scanning all the code that's out there on GitHub and realizing a lot of people are doing some things incorrectly, and they should be doing things differently. So that's another nice resource. Is good.
It's a nice way for them to see how people have taken what they've done and either using it incorrectly, then say, okay, now we can teach on this concept to help people use it more effectively, right?
Yeah.
Effective use of code.
Yeah.
The way they can publicize it.
So let me change directories. So let me do a new line. So that %b prints in binary, the formatting verb. And so that's the number 12 in binary. And we looked at that yesterday. So this is the 1's place. And this is the 2's place. Here's the 4's place. Here's the 8's place. So I have 1 8 and 1 4, which is 12. So that's kind of cool. And if I wanted to see that instead in hexadecimal, I could do X. And then it'll just give me the letter C, because hexadecimal is base 16. And you have the digits 0 through 9, and then A, B, C, D, E, F, right? And that's your 16. And so 0 through 9, and then A, B, C is 12, right? 9 plus A, B, C, 3 is 12. And so that's how you do 12 in hexadecimal. Of course, if I had a bigger number, it'd look more like a hexadecimal code we're used to seeing. And I think I could do like a %X, and it puts in the 0x in front of it. Or no, it just made it all caps. So I could look at the formatting verbs, and there's one for doing hexadecimal with the 0x in front of it, I thought. So here it is, down here. %pound x. Let's try that. %pound 0x. So kind of cool. Hexadecimal. It's kind of cool to understand how those things are working. All right, so that's a nice little example. Stop.